Agreed. Greetings. Very well. You thought of that? That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of that? Very well. That was my plan. Very well. You thought of that? That was my plan.
Greetings, my lord.
What is it?
What, mortal?
Welcome to our
What is
village.
it now?
Wait till you see
I
me in
must
action.
hunt soon. I must hunt soon. Greetings. What, mortal? Agreed.
Give me something to do.
What is it now? What, mortal? Greetings. I must hunt soon. What is it now? I must hunt soon. Greetings. You thought of that? Agreed. That was my plan. Die. Very well. You thought of that? What is it now? Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. Agreed. I hunger. That was my plan. Very well. You thought of that? That was my plan. What, mortal? What, mortal? Agreed. You thought of that? Death rages. Greetings. Very well. That was my plan. Very well. You thought of that? Agreed. You thought of that? Agreed. That was my plan. What is it now? I must hunt soon. Very well. Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of that? Death rages. You thought of that? I hunger. Die. Very well. Your soul is mine. Death.
First blood.
What is it now? That was my plan. I must hunt soon. Greetings. What, mortal? Agreed. Agreed. That was my plan. Greetings. You thought of that? Very well. That was my plan. I hunger. What is it now? Agreed. Die. You thought of that? Very well. You thought of that? Very well. I hunger. That was my plan. Death rages. You thought of that? That was my plan. Agreed. Agreed. That was my plan. Die. That was my plan. Death rages. I hunger. Agreed. Die. You thought of that? Agreed. That was my plan. That was my plan. Very well. You thought of that? Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of that? That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of that? Very well.
Our brethren's town is under attack.
Agreed. Very well. That was my plan. That was my plan. Die. That was my plan. I hunger. You thought of that? Thought of that? That was my plan. Very well. Thought of that? I hunger. That was my plan. Very well. Agreed. That was my plan. Very well. Die. Thought of that? Death rages. Very well. That was my plan. What, mortal? You I hunger. That was my plan. Agreed. Thought of that. Thought of that. Very well. Agreed. That was my plan. That was my plan. Agreed. Very well. Death rages. That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of that. That was my plan. You thought of that. Your soul is mine. Agreed. I hunger. I hunger. Death rages. That. That was my plan. That was my plan. Very well. I must hunt soon. Die. Agreed. You thought of that. Very well. Greetings. That was my plan. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that. Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan. Very well. You thought of that. Agreed. That was my plan. Very well. That was my plan. You thought of that. Very well. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that. Agreed. That was my plan. Very well. That was my plan. You thought of that. Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed.
Our brethren's town is under attack.
You thought of that. Agreed. That was my plan. I hunger. What? I must have soon. Death rages. Agreed. That was my plan. I hunger. You thought of that. That was
Our
my
brethren's
plan.
town is under attack.
Mortal. What is it now? Greetings. What, mortal? Agreed. Die. You thought of that. Agreed. That was my plan. What is it now? I must hunt soon. Greetings. What, mortal? What is it now? That was my plan. I must hunt soon. You thought of that? Greetings. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that? Very well.
Our brethren's town is under attack.
That was my plan. What is it now? What, mortal? That was my plan. You thought of that? Agreed. Very well. Very well. You thought of that? Agreed. That was my killing spree. Agreed. You thought of that? That was my plan. I hunger. Die. You thought of that? That was my plan. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that? Agreed. What is it now? That was my plan. You thought of that? Death rages.
Our brethren's town is under attack.
Die. Very well. Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that? I must hunt soon. Very well. Death
Our brethren's
rages.
town is under attack.
Agreed. That was my plan. Death rages. Die. I hunger. You thought of that? Death rages. That was my plan. Very well. What, mortal?
Our brethren's
Greetings.
town is under attack.
Die. I hunger. Agreed. That was my plan. I agreed. What is it now? You thought of that? Agreed. That was my plan. That was my plan.
Our brethren's town is under attack.
Agreed. That? You thought of that? What, mortal? That was my plan. Greetings. Die. Very well. Agreed. You thought of that? Very well.
Our brethren's town is under attack.
Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that? Double kill! Agreed. Greetings. What is it now? Agreed. Death rages. That was my plan. You thought of that. Agreed. That was my plan. I must hunt soon. That was my plan. Very well. You thought of that. Agreed. Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that. I hunger. That was my plan. Agreed. What is it now? You thought of that? Very well. That was my plan. Die. Very well. You thought of that. Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that. Very well. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that? What? I must hunt soon. Death rages. That was my plan. Agreed. Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. Greetings.
Our brethren's town is under
What,
attack.
mortal? I hunger. You thought of that. Dominate. You thought of that. Agreed. Very well. Agreed. You thought of that. That was my plan. What is it now?
Our brethren's town is under attack.
Die. Agreed. That was my plan. Very well. You thought of that. Very well. Agreed. What is it now? That was my plan. You thought of that? That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of that? Death rages. Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. Die. Agreed. Very well. Agreed. You thought of that? I hunger. That was my plan. That was my plan. Rages. Agreed. I hunger. You thought of that? Very well. You thought of that? That was my plan. Agreed. Agreed. You thought of that? That was my plan. Die. Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. I must plan. Greetings. I must hunt soon. You thought of that? What is it now? What, mortal? What is it now? That was my plan. Die. Greetings. Agreed. Very well. I must hunt soon. What, mortal? That was my plan. You thought of that? Agreed. What is it now? You thought of that? That was my plan. I hunger. Agreed.
Our brethren's town is under attack.
Very well. You thought of that? Very well. Death rages. Agreed. Greetings. That was my plan. Very well. Agreed. Die. That was my plan. That was my plan. Greetings. I must hunt soon. Very well. Agreed. What, mortal? You thought of that? That was my plan. You thought of that? Agreed. Very well. What is it now? You thought of that? Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed. Very well. Death rages. I hunger. That was my plan. You thought of that? I must hunt soon. Very well. Agreed. You thought of that? Agreed. Very well. That was my plan. Very well.
Aye. Our brethren's town is under attack.
Agreed. Greetings. What, mortal? What is it now? That was my plan. What, mortal? You thought of that? Agreed.
Our brethren's town is under attack.
You thought of that? That was my plan. You thought of that? That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that? Agreed. Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that? Very well. Greetings. You thought of that? That was my plan. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that? That was my plan. Very well. Agreed. I hunger. You thought of that? That was my plan. Very well. That was my plan. You thought of that? Agreed. That was my plan. Very well. Agreed. Very well. You
Our
thought of
brethren's
that?
town is under attack.
Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed. Very well.
Wait till you see
Must
me in
hunt
action.
soon. You thought of that? Death rages. What is it now? That was my plan. Where you want me to go? I must hunt soon. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that? Greetings. What, mortal? What is it now? That was my plan. Very well. That was my plan. I hunger. Agreed. You thought of that? That was my plan. Agreed. Very well. Greetings. What, mortal? Greetings. I must hunt soon. I hunger. You thought of that? Very well. You thought of that?
Hello.
What is it now? Death rages. Die. That was my plan. That was my plan. Greetings. You thought of that? What, mortal? Very well. Agreed. What is it now? I must hunt soon. Get on with it. What, mortal? Very well. That was my plan. You thought of that? Agreed. That was my plan. Death rages.
Our forces are under attack.
Agreed. Agreed. That was my plan. I must hunt soon. You thought of that? Very well. That was my plan. Very well. You thought of that? Greetings. What is it now? Get on with it. Greetings. Greetings. That was my plan. I hunger. That. That was my plan. What is it now? I must hunt soon. You thought of that? Very well. Very well. What, mortal? That was my plan. Greetings. What, mortal? Agreed. That was my plan. Get on with it. Yeah. Must hunt soon. Agreed.
Greetings, my lord.
What is it now? That was my plan. Very well. You thought of that? Greetings. Agreed. That was my plan. What is it? I must hunt soon. Agreed.
Welcome to our village.
Greetings. You thought of that? Very well. That was my plan. You thought of that? I hunger. That was my plan. You thought of that? Get on with it. I must hunt soon. What is it now? What more? Agreed. Greetings. I must hunt soon. What is it?
Our brethren's town is under attack.
Plan. What, mortal? I must hunt soon. Very well. Get on with it. Greetings. You thought of that? That was my plan. Death rages. Killing. That was my plan. Okay.
Our brethren's town is under attack.
What ails you?
Our brethren's town is under attack.
I must hunt soon. That was my plan. What is it now? Greetings, greetings. You thought of that?
Hello.
What you want me to do? What, mortal? Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that? Very well. That was my plan. Very well. Agreed. What is it now? I must hunt soon. You thought of that? Very well. Agreed. That was my plan. I must hunt soon. Greetings. You thought of that? What is it now? That was my plan. Die. Very well. What, mortal? Agreed. You thought of that? Very well. Death. I hunger. That was my plan. I must hunt soon. Agreed. Greed. Thought of that? Very well. That was my plan.
Our forces are under attack.
Very well. That was my plan. You thought of that? Double kill. What, mortal? I hunger. Agreed. Very well. That was my plan. Very well. What is it now? You thought of that? That was my plan. Greetings. Agreed. Agreed. I must hunt soon. Very well. That was my plan. You thought of that? What is it now? What is it now? That was my plan. You thought of that? What, mortal? Agreed. Greetings. Very well. That was my plan. Death rages. Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that? Agreed. Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that? That was my plan. Very well. I must hunt soon. Agreed. You thought of that? Agreed. Greetings. You thought of that?
Our brethren's town is under attack.
What, mortal? I must hunt soon.
Is my aid required?
I must hunt soon. Very well. That was my plan.
Our brethren's
Very well.
town is under
What,
attack.
mortal? You thought of that? That was my plan.
Welcome to our village.
You're interrupting my calculations.
I hunger. Wicked double kill. That was my plan. What is it now? I must hunt soon. You thought of that? Greetings. Very well. That was my plan. That was my plan. You thought of that? Very well. What, mortal? Very well. You thought of that? That was my plan. I must hunt soon. Killing spree. That was my plan. Very well. What? Thought of that. Agreed. What is it, beckons? Is my plan. What, mortal? You thought of that? I must hunt soon. Greetings. What is it now? Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that? I must hunt soon. Greetings. Very well. What is it now? That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed. What?
Monster kill!
You thought of that? That was my plan. Agreed. Mortal. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that? That was my plan. What is it now? Agreed. Death rages. You thought of that?
My life
Must
for
hunt
this.
soon. That was my plan. Agreed. Very well. I hunger. You thought of that? That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that? Very well. Greetings. I must hunt soon. I hunger. That was my plan. Die.
Thy bidding.
What is it now? Death rages.
Our forces are under attack.
That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of that? That was my plan. Very well. What, mortal? Agreed. You thought of that? Death rages. Agreed. I must hunt soon.
Our forces are under attack.
That was my plan. thought of that? Very well. Greetings. I hunger. That was my plan. I hunger. I hunger. That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of that?
How may I serve?
What is it now? Death rages. That was my plan. That was my plan. What is it now? You thought of that? I must hunt soon. Die. Very well. Agreed. That was my
Forces are under attack.
very well. You thought of that? You thought of that? Greetings. That was my plan. I hunger. Very well.
Our forces are under attack.
What mortal? Agreed. You thought of that? You thought of that? Die. That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of that. You thought of that. That was my plan. Greetings. That was my plan. Die. Death rages. You thought of that. That was my plan. What, mortal? Agreed. What, mortal?
Our forces are under attack.
I must hunt soon. You thought of that? I hunger. What is it now? You thought of that? I must hunt soon. That was my plan. Very well. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that? Triple kill! That was my plan. That was my plan. What is it now? What, mortal? That was my plan. You thought of that?
Our forces are under attack.
Very well. That was my plan. Greetings. You thought of that?
Our forces are under attack.
Very well. That was my plan. You thought of that? Agreed. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that? That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of that? Very well. Double kill. Plan.